Okay, I think I'll go ahead and get started in the interest of everyone's time. This is Patty Marshall from Make Solutions, and I'm excited to be showing you some of the new features and functions that were recently released with TransIT 4.0. Also recently released is our new corporate logo and our new TransIT logo. Anyone who's been using TransIT will notice that this icon here is similar to what you get when you're waiting in transit now. The presentation today is going to be divided into two sections, more or less. The first one is, if you can just give me a second here to get my presentation going, is the first section is going to be on plans and what the uses for plans are and tips for how to upload existing spreadsheets into plans. The second section is updates with regards to testing in transit, and we've got some pretty exciting new features with regards to testing management, updates in the test report, updates in the issues, and updates in the position dashboard that some of you have been waiting years for. So for uses of plans, a plan is just a list of activities, or even more basic, it's just a list of any kind. And you can use it for whatever you want to use it for. So you'll see examples of one of our current ongoing projects. We loaded the list of bridge lines to be used in the round of testing. So because we were doing testing completely remote, each solution had a separate bridge line, and they loaded the list of the links into TransIT so that people could easily get to those. If you do departmental leader readiness, a lot of people do those in SharePoint. This is an alternative way to do it that allows easy access to a broad group of people across your organization. Information about legacy system availability during a go live can be put into a plan. Any of your backload activities, so backloading schedules or backloading clinical data for your ambulatory areas, or loading your ADT information at go live, as well as the ongoing orders, etc. Technical cutover plans can be put into transit plans, prod rebuild steps, small project plans. I know a lot of organizations have analysts manage small projects, like whether it's your year-end pricing updates or things like that. And it might be somebody who doesn't typically use Microsoft Project, but it's got enough tasks in it that you're sharing across an analyst team, and there's no reason that you couldn't use transit plans for things like that as well. So this presentation will be available on the website after this meeting. The important things in here are the two Excel formulas there. The one thing about transit, you can't create your own columns. The columns are fixed. And in most of the cutover plans and things that the vendors put together, you have a date and a time column separate. In transit plans, they need to be concatenated into a single column. And so you can see here the formula for doing that. As well, because our columns are fixed columns, you may have more columns in your spreadsheet than we have available in transit plans. So you need to do some analysis of your spreadsheet before you upload it and figure out which columns you want to put where. So listed here are the things that we have current filtering capabilities for. You can filter by type, category, group, status, or date. There's also an alpha search capability. And so you want to make sure that you put things into those columns that are things that you want to filter on. Right now, there's no dependency tracking in transit plans. Having said that, there's also no dependency tracking in Excel spreadsheets, which is what people usually use for the things that we're putting into transit. And so in the plans that I've uploaded so far, what I've done routinely is combine the comment column and the dependency column. And so there's the Excel formula listed there for how to do that. I'll go on and I'll talk about all the test report enhancements, and then I'll do the demo portion of today, both together. So doing both the plans and the enhancements for reporting together. With the test report, this is something that many of you on the call today have specifically requested, and so we'll be happy to hear is available, and that's edit inline capabilities on the test report. So that means once a note has been logged or once an issue has been logged on the test report, instead of having to open it up to edit it, you can actually edit it right from the report. And if any of you have used TransIT over the last 2 or 3 weeks, you will have noticed that that was available. Additionally, with issues, there's a few more things. Not only is there edit inline capabilities on the issue page, but also when you open up an issue, the scenario name, step number, and header information all now show inside that new issue page. So that really helps to allow the person troubleshooting the issue to know more of the information about what the person was testing without having to go and necessarily go and view the test script. If, on the other hand, it's still not enough information and they need to go and look at the test script, there's now a step number link that takes you right to the test step page so that you can see exactly what the person was executing. And then when you're there, the issue, the little icon in TransIT, the issue becomes a link that will take you back to that test note. So all of those things should really help with advancing issue management in TransIT. Lastly, and this as well has been out there for years. And again, some of you on this call specifically requested it. So hopefully everybody's happy to find out that we now have more information, the position dashboard. So that information includes both the action, but also the note. And the note is shared between the main dashboard and the position dashboard. So especially during social distancing, when you're not having everyone in the same room, a person can actually load up the position dashboard now and sit there for the whole day because it auto refreshes now, and because you can put a note on there. So if you've taken ownership of a script and you want to put your name to say that you're working that script, it's visible not only on your position dashboard, but it's visible on the main dashboard as well. If you've gone into TransIT lately, you'll also notice on that main test execution page, you now don't even have to go to the main dashboard. You can get directly to the position dashboard from that page. Then also for selecting positions, you can do a select all and select none. Not sure how many times you'll use that, but it's available. And then also on that dashboard, there's now a little stoplight that shows the scripts that you're actually due up now in, so that hopefully that helps to facilitate script movement as well. Okay, so with that, I'm going to get out of here and go over to TransIT. So this is the new TransIT plans page, and to get to plans, it's just in the blue bar up here. And we are working to enhance this continuously, but this is where it's at today. So I'm hoping that next week there'll be another lunch and learn on additional new exciting functionality that we're working on that's for both plans and for testing. But we'll go over what's here today, and then I'll stop and ask if anyone has questions. So I talked about the bridge lines. So if you want to go into a plan, it's just like going into a scenario. You click on the name of it and it takes you inside. And so this is, again, the bridge line that we used at the go live. And so I know what pharmacy's bridge line number is, then I can refresh and it's going to show me, okay, here's my pharmacy bridge line. And if that's the only bridge line I care about, I could leave this open and use this link to access it. I won't access it now because it actually does work. So if I click this link, it would put me on hold with you guys, and it would join me into their pharmacy group. Okay. To go back then to the list of plans, the other thing, like I said, that you can use it for is if you're using a department readiness checklist, if you're holding the department leaders and managers accountable in your organization for marking the tasks that you've assigned them as done and not done, you can load that up into TransIT. So in this case, if I wanted to look at the things that I was specifically accountable for, I can go and search for my name. Anything that's listed in blue is something that's due today. Anything, actually, I should stop and say this, when you go into a TransIT plan, it automatically shows you everything except things that are completed. And so if I wanted to go back and see all of the tasks that had been mine, then I would go in and click this and then refresh again. And so you can see there's a whole bunch of tasks I've already completed. This one here is actually supposed to be occurring right now as we speak. And so if I wanted to show that I had completed it, then I would go in here and I would mark it as done. And it'll automatically show it as complete. This one I marked as done before and didn't unmark as done correctly. And then when I refresh again, it'll then go gray to show that it's been completed. And again, if you want to get rid of the ones that are completed, you can then refresh and be left with your list of tasks. And then as you complete your tasks, it automatically updates the % complete here and back here. So everything is always instantaneous, and it updates as well. So this is the % complete. This is overdue tasks. This is any tasks that have been flagged, and this is any that have issues. So somewhat similar to the testing. So now if I go inside and look at, this is an in-house backload that we've loaded up, and this is for a somewhat small site, and I would never suggest putting PHI into TransIT, but what we did here was we created the backload information using the room and bed. So not using anything PHI related, but putting in room and bed numbers so that you could track what you'd done. And again, if I wanted to go and look for the things that were assigned to me, I can go in and search by name. And it's going to show you these are all the tasks for me. And so now if I'm the nurse and I'm working on the backload, but I find out that, oh, actually the patient in bed 201, bed 1 is being discharged, then what I can do on 201, bed 1, and go in and say, I want to see all tasks and refresh it. And then I can go, and although the registration completed it, since this person is now gone, I can go and reset this and reset the status to be not done. I can go then and update all these tasks with a note to say, so that now the registration team knows that although they had already registered a person in the bed, nursing sending a person home, so they now have an empty bed that they may have to register another person in. So again, it works very similar to any kind of a project plan, very easy to update anything by just putting in whatever you want to change and then pushing enter. You know, so then if this patient was now registered, I could go in and save that, put in here that, okay, I've re-registered the patient, and then I could go back and say, I'm going to take off the comment that that first person put on to say, and so then the comment's been removed. So now we know, okay, there's a new patient coming into that bed. So lots of functionality that allows you to easily update plans and easily communicate with your team. This other one here is a system availability list. So often at Go Live, you've got different times when different systems will or won't be available. So I think I have my systems in this category. So let's see, if I wanted to look and see what's happening with Collection Manager during Go Live, I can refresh and see from now until Go Live, it's going to be read write, and then after that, there's no access to it. So this hopefully saves a lot of calls between your SMEs who are doing support and the help desk, because they can just go in and look for themselves, or make it available to the help desk so that they have a clear understanding of what's going to be available when. I have one more example of a plan out here, which is a technical cutover plan. So again, very similar to the other plans I've shown. Tasks that are red are overdue, tasks that are black are coming due, tasks that are blue are things that are due for today. So again, if I wanted to go in and see the tasks that I'm responsible for, I can just refresh and it shows, oh, I guess I didn't send my list in of peripherals. So if I really had done it, I want to mark it complete, I can mark it complete. And again, it updates instantaneously. So that's everything on plans. I'm going to keep going on to the differences in the TransIT testing, and then I'll open it up for questions. So if we go over to the testing now, and you can see here, this is the first difference. So you can get directly to the position dashboard from here. If we go into the test report, you can see all these little pencils are my edit inline capability. So if I wanted to go in and say, okay, I'd actually made this script edit already, I can go in here, I can mark it as addressed. I can go in here and say, I actually didn't do that. Sorry about that. You have to actually actually have to hit enter. Mark it as addressed and then go over here and say and then you're done. So much easier to edit here than having to open up and edit the note. But also, if you're following our normal logic and you're flagging a step and having it here and having someone analyze it and then move it over to the issues, you have the ability to easily go in and log your issue and then do any of the updates here. So those are the main things on the test notes, is this edit inline capability. If I click over to the issue list, you'll see that there's the same pencils in some of the fields, so the ability to update here. And again, what I was saying, if you go inside an issue, now not only does it have the header information, and if it's more than that in your header, you can pop it open and it'll show you all the fields in the header. But this step number here is an actual link over to the test steps page. And so it allows you to go and see what was happening in that portion of the script. What you will notice is that when you go to the test steps page, it automatically filters to all, and that's to make sure that you actually can see the steps. So if it brought you to a filtered list of just those remaining, then it wouldn't be showing on your screen. So it is going to take a minute to finish painting here. And I was telling everyone I've got bad internet speed. So here's my issue. And now that I'm in here, I can see, okay, what was happening at the time. And then if I want to go back to the issue, this issue is now a link and it'll take me right back to that open issue. I can finish doing whatever it is I wanted to do in here, and then I can save that issue. So makes it a lot easier for people trying to manage issues inside the database. So I'll have to wait for this to finish, and then I'm going to go and show you the position dashboard. I guess I should have picked a script that has less steps. Okay, so if I go over to my position dashboard now, then I can select my positions. And so let me just be an ED person for a moment here. And so the same as before, it pulls in a filtered list of the positions. Some of the positions have no steps for today, which is why there's 2 orange banners there. You can see I'm due up in 2 steps here, and this is with registration right now. If this was actually with me and I wanted to put my name, I'm actually working on this. Okay, it's not letting me. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not letting me do it there. So let me go out to the main dashboard. So in here, if I wanted to go in and put in that this was me working on it, and I go back to that position dashboard, then you can see it updated here. I'm not sure why this isn't working in the demonstration domain here. Not sure. But at any rate, that's sort of the way that works. I think it maybe is because of all the orange banners here. So those are the main things. Oh, also, so there's also the auto refresh here, which is something that everybody's been asking for a long time. So the refresh is here. There's also the change auto refresh. So if you wanted to say, okay, I want it to refresh every minute instead of every 5 minutes, you can change it to be a minute and then it'll switch every minute. So those are the main things that I was going to demo. And so I know you guys never ask questions, but I am going to take everyone off mute in case anyone today surprises me and actually does want to ask questions. I think actually you have to take yourself off mute. I've only got to mute all. I don't have anything to take you off. Does anybody have any questions? So Pam, I can see you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Because I clicked the wrong button.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, it helps to unmute. We don't use the plan tab. So is that brand new or just something
Brand,
that I missed?
yeah, brand new. That rolled out July the 4th on TransIT's 8th
Okay.
birthday.
So
So brand new.
is that something that you would mostly use for a go live to keep track of everything that's going on?
Yeah, for go lives, or like I said, where I could see it be really useful is for small projects. So when you're getting ready to do your year-end price adjustments or whatever, like I know
Right.
that you typically wouldn't put together a Microsoft project plan for that, but it's something where it touches a whole bunch of different teams. Like it usually touches lab and radiology and charge services. And so putting all the steps that they all need to do together into a plan, as well as doing your test script in transit, would make a lot of sense because it would all be in here. So the plan for the things that need to get done could be in here. And so if Erin was waiting for the PathNet team to do their updates, then she could have a task for them in transit plans and they could mark when it's done so that she could better determine when she was ready for testing.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sure you probably explained that to me, but I didn't get it.
No,
So
no. I transit plans is brand new. So that's why I did invite project managers from each of the sites to join today because it is brand new and I do see that it is outside of the regular testing. But the thought
right.
was that with COVID-19 and everybody needing to do things with social distancing, that giving a tool that would allow you to communicate across teams where everyone can't necessarily be in the same room would be of value.
Absolutely. That sounds great.
Does
Thank you.
anybody else have any other questions? Okay, well, it seems like not. So I will give you 8 minutes back, and at least we got our very first question on one of these lunch and learns. And like usual, this will be posted under the virtual user group link in our website, the video. And again, the most important things for transit plans were those formulas for concatenating the date and time and making sure that you concatenated your other columns. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.